Welcome to a Bear Bootcamp. I am so happy that you are here. And I just want to congratulate you for already taking the first step. The willingness to look into or get a new perspective of how to just let go of the freaking insecurities and judgments and all that, so we could actually access the power of our own bear, right? Our own personal power of feeling beautiful, of showing up authentically and being real and confidently expressing ourselves. Yeah? Who's in? So why do we do this? We do this because somewhere along the way, we create, and I want you to hear this, we individually, each and one of us, created a dependency on people or stuff like clothes or shoes or music or anything else that make us feel good. We create dependency with that. So what that means, as in this transformational work, it's always been promoting, like, what's your favorite song that make you feel good? I often say, you know, like, putting my eyeliner and my mascara on every day makes me feel good. And you could find your own examples, your own tools, if you wish. But also to recognize that we create this dependency with this stuff, with this tool, with these practices in order for us to feel good. So my intention for this Bear Bootcamp is to have all of you self-discover through the content that I give you, through the question, and through your own, journey in the workbook that I created, to discover what is your particular individual personal practice of feeling good when those things are removed. So when we have a feeling of nakedness, of bare, right? I know how to get in a good mood and increase my vibration by playing Beyonce song, right? But what else is possible? What other practice are there available for me that I get to discover and explore so I could get into that good feeling good vibe when the music is not available? When the internet is down, when I'm in the middle of the jungle and my Spotify is not working, right? So that's what we want to focus on this 5 days. Sounds like a good plan? Let's get to it. All right, so I want to start with this premise. It is my truth. And I want you to see how this translates to you, and I want you to take it and make it your own. Wherever you go, you take yourself with you. Hear me out. You're carrying yourself, your mood, your beliefs, your habits, your preferences, your judgments, everything about you is with you all the time. So that concept alone, if you take it from this session, it could literally change your life. What that tells us? That tells us that today you get to decide who you want to be, knowing that in every moment that you are with everything that you are. Every single, each little tiny part of your being. So that includes the beliefs, the limiting beliefs that we grow up with and we develop and evolve up until now. The preferences, the habits, the judgments, the self positive talk or negative talk. Everything from the past up until this point, up until now, it is with you. So as we decided that we want to live a better life and we want to be very aware and conscious, making decisions about where we are going and what is the life that we are created, we started this work from recognizing that all of these things that we are, it's a result of what our parents put to us, what our teacher teach us, what our society influence us, and so on. But today, you get to decide who you want to be. And today, we get to drop, like right here in this session, we drop this plausible excuse and justification. It's my mom's fault, it's my teacher's fault. Once upon a time when the society says, the law decide, the government, like we drop them. We drop them. And when we do that, we get to open one door to access our bare power. Like I decide who I want to be and how I want to create this life and what kind of life do I want to have. So who's ready for that? Please leave in the comments. I'm dropping the excuses. I'm dropping the excuses, and not to say that they are not true. They're true. They're all of us true. We know where we are coming from, but no longer we want to use this truth of how we grow up and what limitation and beliefs parents put on us. We don't want to use this truth as an excuse of why do not move into a more expansive and loving space. So that being said, the first letter in a bear, the B, it's about beauty and beautiful. So in your workbook, for the day one, there is a tiny little section where I call it where you were. And in that space, I want you to just kind of jot down and just recognize, identify, and have a conversation with yourself, remembering who you used to be as a little child, who you used to be when you were 3 or 4 or 5, right? Just write down the characteristics of that little girl, right? When you ask all the questions that cross your mind without needing the courage to ask the question. When you are not worried to ask for what you want or what you desire, you are not worried about people saying no to you. You ask again. You become that annoying little girl, right? When you say things that cross your mind or you felt without worrying if it's said properly or if it's perfectly pronunciated or if it's just perfectly said, right? How was that possible? That was possible because we all born with the right and we already had it in us of being worthy. We were born worthy. We were born with confidence. We all were born beautiful. As a little girl, remember that you just intuitively, if you wish, you know that your voice was for speaking. I was the one that I will never shut up. Still don't. Right? You knew that your desires, what you want and what you wish are there to be satisfied, and you just ask for it. You didn't dare and you didn't have the courage. It was just naturally. I want this, I ask for it. You allowed yourself to be who you are there. All worthy of desire, uniquely beautiful, loving, accepting everyone, but most importantly, accepting yourself. So what happened? We grow up. And hear me out when I say that. We grow up. It's something that I recognized a year ago or so. That also that become between itself a belief, because it's how they say you grow up, and we even use that. Pay attention and recognize if you or people around you say, use that as a demand, as a solution. Grow up. What that means, it's been put on us as a belief, as we grow up and we become an adult, we're supposed to stop having fun. We're supposed to stop loving ourselves. We're supposed to stop asking for things. Why? For a variety of reasons, right? Don't have fun because you don't want to be ridiculed. Loving yourself is a selfish. Asking for things is like you can't be satisfied, and so on and so on. So let's change that. Let's change that expression, we grow up. Or telling somebody, grow up. Grow the hell up. How many times you said that? I know I did, right? And also recognize that we already changing that. We are changing that. I know I do. We are changing that with our children or with people that we are mentoring. We are changing that by allowing them to grow that confidence that they've been born with, to encourage them that as they grow, they get to expand on that confidence. Growing up is not about stopping the fun and asking for things. Growing up, it's about gaining more wisdom to get more clear and get more clarity and awareness of who they are, right? Loving themselves. We encourage that in our children. We encourage that in people that we support and we help. We encourage the idea that putting yourself first and practicing a self-care and self-love is not selfish. It's actually required. It's an act of love. It's the first thing that you need to do in order to express love and compassion to somebody else. You need to be the one that you have love and compassion for yourself, through self-care and through self-love. So that's how grow up looks like in my family, in my business, in my work. And it's what I'm practicing for myself. I mean, I haven't done it for the first 4 decades of my life, but then I realized that I could change that. And growing up is, I have so much wisdom and so much life experience. I know how to be more confident. I know how to gain more clarity. I know how to have more fun. For the simple fact, hear me out, for the simple fact that I don't need to ask my parents' permission for anything. The power of desiring something and going for it and do whatever it takes to get it without expecting somebody else to give it to us. And now that being said, recognize in all area of your life, is it there a space where you find yourself saying that they supposed to give it to me, he's supposed to give me the attention, they supposed to, etc., fill the gap, right? It's not to say, oh, don't do that. It's to understand that it's coming from a very ingrained belief from when we are little kids, right? I need to ask for things from my parents and they're supposed to give it to me, because if they don't, that means that they don't love me. And just, look at your life and see where that is coming up in your life. So how many of you, or people adults, women and men, feel insecure about their bodies? Believe that you are unlovable as you are. believe that you will be more beautiful or sexy or even worthy if you were not having all that cellulite and stretch marks and gray hair. All the things, right? And also, I want to invite you to let that be okay. To let that be understood, that the root of everything, right? That gets in our way of anything that we want or we desire is fear. So when we have all this beliefs or language of about our body, about how do we feel if you're beautiful or sexy, gonna stream a while so we could complete this session. We only have about 10 minutes left. Grateful for the technology, grateful for the internet, grateful for being able to stream worldwide and talk with people from all over the world. Like, that's just amazing. So I'm tuning to that. I tried to remember where we left it off, and I didn't check the first video where it got cut up, but I think we got in just looking into where these insecurities and judgment and all of that come through. And they do come through from mainly from fear, aside from fear of judgment, from fear of failure, from fear of being ridiculed, for the gray hair, for the extra pounds, for being too small, being too big, being too whatever. So for me, when I start doing this bare work, the one thing that really speaks to me, and I hope this is gonna be helpful to you or find your version of that, is to look at, like, what is the opposite of fear? And opposite of fear for me was trust, and mainly trusting myself, trusting that I'm gonna be okay as myself. Do you hear that? But also, I'm just going to talk about me because I don't know where you are. I couldn't trust myself because I realized I didn't fully, truly love myself. So then when I start, like, intentionally looking at this self-love and start walking that self-love journey, that path, I realize that the foundation of that is self-care. And I know it's been taught a lot, the idea of, you need to take care of yourself so you could be this and this and that. But it feels to me that most of those teachings, they're skipping from self-care to the goal, to the dream, and they're skipping the self-love part. And self-love is the depth of this concept when I created it, right? How can I fully, deeply, truly, and honestly love myself for who I am, what I am today? That was the big question. So, like, the opposite of fear was trust, and trust rapidly become a love. Love. The opposite of fear is love. They're not antonyms in any of languages that I know of, but energetically, if you tune into that, it's coming back to love all the time. So the reason I put who you were is to really remember that all of that, they're still in you. That you are loved, and you are confident, and you are worthy, and you are beautiful. So when we strip away the labels, the insecurities, the judgments, the stereotypes and everything that has been put on us from when I was a little girl with all that good in me till fully developed adult, everything that is putting on me, when I strip away of all of that, all is remains is the essence of who I am. That bare essence, beautiful and authentic and real and expressed, fully expressed. Expressed without the worry of what people might say or might think or judge, or if they like me or not. Why? Because I like me. Finally, I like me. So if other people like me, it's fantastic. If they don't, I'm still having a good time, because that is my main goal, to have a good time, to have a good life, to enjoy life, to be happy, to be good. So from where you are, as I put in a workbook, to look at like who you want to be. And if you have a clear understanding and you like very clear on who you want to be, just write them down. But I want to consider that depends on where everyone is in this work of accepting and owning and showing our own beauty. I suggest as a start point to write down exactly the same characteristics that you write down on who you were. So you could remember that all of that, the worthiness, the confidence, everything that you behave and you say and you felt as a little girl, it's still in you. And put all that into who you want to be, all these characteristics, right? And then you could look what doesn't let you be that. What doesn't let you be that is all the things that it's been put on you since then up until now. Judgment, insecurities, beliefs, limitations, stereotypes, societal norms, rules, laws, governments, just name it, right? So that would be one thing, one exercise, if you wish, that I invite you to do today. And as a practice, as I said, in this BEAR Bootcamp, I want to share with you some of my practices, and I also did with some of my clients, and then to have you try them on, right? The BEAR practices, if you wish. And the one that I want to start today, we want to start it today, and I want you to keep it for as long as you need to keep it, for up until the point that doesn't feel like a conscious decision, that you intentionally choosing this practice, until it just is. It's a habit, right? It's how a habit works. So the one practice that I want to start today, and it's around beauty, is moving away from fear of being who we are, tapping into the love and into the self-love, and starting with the loving self-talk. Loving self-talk. So look at those two scripts. They most likely are identical, right? Like who you used to be and who you want to be. Like you want all that to remember who you were and who you still are, loving and beautiful and confident, and read them out loud. Let's start with that. Let's start with that practice. Read them out loud. If it's not on the list, I want you to add, I am beautiful. Today, it's about beauty and beautiful. I am beautiful. And when you say that out loud, just check with yourself, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like you're lying? Do you feel like you're telling the truth? Do you feel like you're forcing yourself saying it? And just journal about it. Journal about it. You don't need to share with anybody. You don't need to show it to anybody. Just journal about it, to recognize those emotions that are coming through. And you get bonus points If you are doing that in front of the mirror, just look her in her eyes and read those things that you put into your workbook and say, I am beautiful. And see how you feel about it. Do it from the place that where you are. If you're comfortable, do it in your own room with the door closed and locked. Do that, but just do it. Try it on. It's safe. It's safe to try it on. If there are children around you, if you're a parent or there are other children around you, see if you could say it in front of them. Like, what other better way of modeling self-love? If not that, to have our children witness us looking in the mirror and say, I am beautiful. Or looking in them and say, Mama's beautiful. Try it. Play with it. I am very curious, first of all, if you're here live or if you come to the replay, to just put it into the comments, the commitment. Just say, I'm in. That will let me know that you are willing to start this practice as many times as you wish, you can, you want, you desire to do it a day, every day, at least for this 5 days. And then, if you don't mind to come back in a group and share what come up for you when you start this practice. If it's something that it's easy for you to do, please share that. We want other people to witness that, to see that everybody can get there and everybody has their own speed. And if it's okay, share with that, to just let us know that it's safe and it's not a big deal. If it feels tight and uncomfortable, share that. So let us know that whomever feels the same is not alone and it's normal. And just to recognize that everybody is where they are on their journey. So that's where we landed today. B stands for beauty and beautiful. And the practice is to look in a mirror and from there step back as much as you need it. But just start the practice of saying out loud the characteristics that are in you already, just with the intention of remember who you really are. Beautiful, worthy, confident. And in order to get fully expressed, we need to express all these things. That's it. All right, everyone. Have a fun day. Have a bear day. And I'm looking forward to read your comments. Bye, everyone.